How's it going, guys? Today I want to talk to you about 9.1, mainly about the PvP changes that are happening in 9.1. So the 9.1 PTR came out today, and one of the things that is, more exciting about 9.1 is the fact that they're redoing some of the honor talents. We don't know how many of them they're redoing, but some classes have gotten one, some classes have gotten two. I think two might be the most. Maybe some classes have gotten three, and some classes haven't gotten any yet. So hopefully they can get like a nice polished number where they give, every class like at least two or three or something like that. And I would personally really like to see a fourth honor talent added because it feels like with, some of these newer options, it's going to be really, really hard to choose. Like I'm already having a really hard time with my Demo Warlock. So I want to go ahead and talk to you guys about like the notes that we've seen so far and give you my first impressions. Let's go ahead and go down the list. None of this stuff is super relevant, I don't think. Balanced Druid stuff, whatever. Flame Strike damage reduce, irrelevant. Flame Patch talent reduce, irrelevant. Kindling, some mages actually play this right now to help reset the cooldown of combustion quicker. So another nerf to fire mages. Infernal Cascade Conduit, damage bonus reduced by 20%. I think that is a pretty reasonable nerf to fire mages once again. This is a really, really cool change. Symbol of Hope is an ability that Holy Priests have right now that restores a little bit of mana. And they're actually changing it in 9.1 to make it so every single person, while you're channeling it, reduces the cooldown of a major defensive ability by an entire minute. That is absolutely insane. So I don't know exactly what that major cooldown is, but I imagine, I play Windwalker Death Knight. It'll probably help reset Karma, or AMZ, or AMS, or Fort Brew, or something like that, which is pretty incredible. That's a huge utility boost to Holy Priest right there. So I feel like Holy Priest just seems really awesome, as well as like if you're still playing Night Fae, you can help them reset an offensive cooldown. Now you can help them reset a defensive cooldown, and it's pretty cool. The Rogue Conduit, I guess, is stronger, but only lasts for 4 seconds. It's kind of annoying in twos when they just feel like they're in stealth forever, but I'm not really sure. Chaos Bolt damage got buffed, but it's still overall a nerf because they got Focus Chaos removed. So don't be worried about that one. Malefic Rapture damage reduced, Agony damage increased. I don't really know how big of a deal that is. I don't know if Shadow Embrace being changed is that big of a deal. It can only be applied to one target, but it lasts longer. I don't even know what Focused Malignancy is. And then here we have the Warlock Slow legendary. Basically doesn't slow anymore from what I understand. Corruption damage increased by more. It used to slow people's movement speed by 50%. So corruption no longer slows. I think that was something that was really frustrating for people to fight against, but I do think Affliction Warlocks are going to have some issues now. They changed some soulbinds around. I just kind of looked at them on stream, but I'm not really going to go into them too much. I will say that I think that the Kyrian soulbind for Mechanicos looked the strongest out of all of them. Actually, one of them looked really broken for Night Fae. Basically, anytime you took damage below 80% health, you would get a shield for 30% of that damage. It's eventually probably going to get some sort of ICD or something. So moving on a little bit, the player versus player changes. This is something that, as one of the only teams, or maybe even the only team that's playing with a Death Knight in tournament play, Blizzard basically removed Frost Death Knight's strongest ability. And I can't argue. Heartstop Aura is incredibly frustrating to play against. It's probably not healthy for the game, but I just don't feel like they're getting compensated strong enough. So right now, I feel like Frost DKs are already underrepresented compared to most classes. Just because something is underrepresented doesn't mean it can't have broken mechanics. For example, I feel like Demon Hunters are underrepresented. Let's be honest, the Hunt is kind of broken. But regardless, I feel like Frost DKs, this could be the death of Frost DKs right now. I'm not sure. This is a huge nerf to Frost DKs. They get a new honor talent called Shroud of Winter, which I will show you guys later. I like this change a lot right now. Kleptomania is now arcane only. I think Kleptomania has been a little ridiculous for quite some time now. And now it's arcane only. I actually like that change. Dampen Magic removed. This reduced dot damage. That's whatever to me. New PvP talent for Arcane Mages we'll talk about a little bit. Arcane Mages deal 20% more damage to Arcane Blast in PvP combat. Ring of Fire, we'll talk about that later. Controlled Burn deals 100% more damage on Ignite when Combustion's not active. I really don't know how big that is. I don't pay too much attention to Fire Mage Ignite damage. New talent for Frost Mage Ice Wall. This kind of scares me a little bit, but I don't actually know what the overall damage will be Frostbolt now deals 100% more damage in PvP, was 15%. Deep Shatter now increases damage in Frostbolt by 75%, was 150%. So how I understand this is I feel like Frostbolt is going to do... It's going to do good damage all the time, if I'm understanding this correctly, because I imagine people play Deep Shatter, so it won't do like as insane crits. But I feel like Frostbolt's going to hit really hard, which if Icicles even exist anymore, Icicles are going to hit really hard. So yeah, Frost Mages seem kind of scary, if I'm being honest. But we'll see. We'll see. Mistweaver's got a bunch of new PvP talents that we're going to talk about, as well as some PvP talent changes. Counteract Magic, I do believe, is actually a nerf. So Counteract Magic was how you actually heal through magic damage really effectively with your Renewing Mist. And they changed it to make it so you did more healing based off how many magic effects you remove, which doesn't really make sense because you might not always want to remove magic effects. So I feel like this actually is a nerf to Counteract Magic. Refreshing Breeze has been redesigned. Now this is kind of interesting to me. Healing done by Soothing Mist increases the healing of your next expel harm of the target. I'm not really sure by how much. And causes it to dispel one magic, one poison, or disease effect. So this is technically an additional dispel. So if you're fighting against a mage and they polymorph your DPS or whatever, you can Soothing Mist them and then expel harm them, and you can go ahead and remove that polymorph. So that's kind of interesting to me, but it's only one magic. And it's a magic, poison, or disease. So it feels like it gets a little clunky there. Now, this one seems absolutely insane. This seems like a must-take in every single situation. So Eminence, which used to be the short port cooldown, now allows you to use port while you are stunned. That is insane. So when you're playing against those rogues and they try and stun you, you can literally port. You can port behind the pillar, and they can't hit you anymore until they reconnect. Also, really good for avoiding goes. You get stunned, they're trying to cast a polymorph on you, boom, you're gone. So I think that's going to be crazy, like must-pick talent for Mistweaver. We'll talk about improved Massive Spell later. Seems a little weird that they got rid of Lasting PvP or Lasting Plague for Shadow. I don't necessarily think that was insane or necessary. I don't really even know what Master Market. I don't even know what that is. Hemotoxin. Neurotoxin removed. We'll talk about Neurotoxin. New PvP talent, Shadow Rift. This thing might be one of the sleeper OP abilities. We'll talk about that one. That's really cool. Demo got some really, really cool stuff in terms of honor talents. Fellord got the shit buffed out of it. So right now, Fellord has like 5,000 HP. On live, on 9.1, it has 60,000 HP. It hits way harder, and Demo, I think, is going to be real. I think Demo is going to be real. Destruction got a new PvP talent. Chaos Bolt deals more damage because Focus Chaos was removed. Still overall a nerf. But so far, I believe these are the PvP changes. I think there's one unlisted in here that I didn't see. Basically, the only one that I don't see in here is that Rested Druid's got a new ability, a new honor talent that increases the healing of Tranquility by 100% and makes it so you're unable to be kicked. So this is a screenshot of all the new abilities they added, so we'll go ahead and go over them. Shiv reduces the target's healing received by 40% for 9 seconds. This actually seems absolutely broken. This seems like a cracked version of Sharpen. I believe Sharpen is a 25-second cooldown for 4 seconds of 50% healing reduction. I also feel like, generally speaking, rogues are kind of more consistently difficult to heal through than warrior damage in a sense. So I feel like rogues constantly applying this is going to be way more taxing than a warrior sharpen. 40% for 9 seconds on a 25-second CD. You get kidneyed 6 seconds, you come out, you got to deal with 40% healing reduction for 9 seconds. By the time you even think about like healing for a real amount, you're going to be kidneyed again. Seems kind of sketchy. A little worried about this one. Shadow Rift. Now this seems absolutely insane to me. Is it actually going to be insane? Maybe not, but I feel like some of the things you could do with this, basically, there's a chance that Rogue Lock becomes real again. Keep in mind that Demo also has Shadow Rift. I'm not sure about Destro, but you can CC someone in the Shadow Rift. Conjure a Shadow Rift with a 10-yard radius at the target location lasting for 2 seconds. Any enemies within the zone when it expires are teleported to your demonic circle. So let's just say you drop a Shadow Rift right here. Your demonic circle's over here behind the pillar. You know, you sap someone in it or you cheap shot someone in it. Boom! All of a sudden they're behind the pillar. You can try and blow them up 100-0. That seems That seems like it could definitely be really crazy. I feel like there could be some crazy stuff with this for sure. But yeah, I feel like Rogue Synergy might be insane with this because, you know, they could CC people and they could probably get back pretty quickly. So Shadow Rift looks like it could be kind of nuts. Bonds of Fel doesn't really seem that great to me. I will say, I think I inspected a Destro Warlock. Hold on, this might be a Destro Warlock right here. Let me see. This guy is Destruction. The tooltip, this guy's not even playing it. Oh, Destro actually does have Shadow Rift. Wow. I feel like Destro synergizes with Shadow Rift really well because it actually has burst damage. So if you played like, you know, with a rogue or something or whatever you play with, I feel like the Warlock can port back and just start cast bolting someone behind the pillar. That seems really scary. Actually, oh my god. Oh no, chat. I just had a nightmare. I'm fighting against C9, MLD, my teammate's in a polymorph. I can't dispel it because I just dispelled the polymorph right before. Now he's teleported behind the pillar. Chanimals ports back. Cubsy Rake stun him behind the pillar. Okay. Shadow Rift is going to be a rough one. A rough one. That sounds horrifying. All right, moving on. Bonds of Fel. It does a little bit more damage than it shows in this tooltip when I inspect this. Someone, I think it's at like 10k. Might be decent damage. I'm not really sure how crazy it's going to be. Then we're moving on to Demonology. Brand new one here. Fel Obelisk. 45-second cooldown, instant summon. You could drop it at a 20-yard range. You want to drop it out of line of sight because it's only going to have 2,000 HP, which makes me think that it's actually going to end up being pretty bad. But if you could drop it in the right spot, maybe, just maybe, it could be good. Because it only has 5% of your health. So if you drop it out of line of sight, it's got a 40-yard range. Maybe it could be good, kind of like similar how the Sky Fury works or something like that. But it gives your pets 20% attack speed, and it gives you 20% cast speed on a 45-second cooldown. It definitely seems like it should be pretty powerful. The only problem I have right now is what do you drop? Fel Lord's insane now. Like, Fel Lord's absolutely insane. You want Counterspell, and you want Master Summoner. Like, this is really difficult. This is a really difficult decision, you know? Do you play Demonic Calling and drop Master Summoner? I'm not so sure that you do. Do you drop Counterspell? It's a really tough call, and it's something that I don't know the answer to. But it seems like it should be really good. Improved Mass Dispel. This is something that is one of the biggest jokes I've seen so far. Mass Dispel cooldown's reduced, and its mana cost is reduced. Most useless talent they added right here. I have absolutely no idea why they added it. So now let's go on to Mistweaver, and I'm really excited about these Mistweaver changes. So Revival's cooldown is reduced by 50% and provides immunity to magical damage and harmful effects for 2 seconds. So basically right now, this is really good because if you Revival as a Mistweaver versus, you know, UA Warlocks or Shadow Priest, you CC yourself, you kill yourself, and it's horrible. Not only that, this is also reducing the cooldown Revival by 1.5 minutes. So it goes from a 3-minute cooldown to a 1.5-minute cooldown, which is incredibly powerful because Mistweavers already have really weak cooldowns. You can also use this as a CC immunity. Like, let's just say you wanted to Revival to not get polymorphed or to not get feared or something. There is a little bit of outplay mechanic there. But yeah, I think this one's definitely going to be used in some stuff. Dematerialize. Now, this is one that when I read it, I was like, wow, Dematerialize is going to be insane. And maybe it still will be insane. But Dematerialize into a mist while stunned, reducing damage taken by 40%, reforming over 3 seconds. So I'm not really sure. The questions I have is, does this have an internal cooldown? Is this really going to be necessary if you can port while stunned? I'm not really sure because, you know, once again, let me go ahead and log onto my Mistweaver here. So some people are saying there's no CD on it, which would probably make it pretty ridiculous. Basically, it's going to make you unkillable as a Mistweaver. It feels like Mistweaver's honor talents are once again kind of bloated up. If you're forced into playing, you know, the Cocoon one, which I think you kind of need to, you have to play Chrysalis, 40-second reduce, and then you want to play Dematerialize, and then you want to play, you know, the one that allows you to port while you're stunned. It feels like you're already locked up. Now you can't play Peace Weaver. What does NNF stand for? Thunder Tip Focus T NNF. I'm not really sure what that means. Regardless, this one is absolutely useless. We'll talk about that in a second. But, you know, I could want Grapple. I could want Aura Mastery. Counteract Magic. Removing hostile magic effects from a target. Increase the healing they receive you by 10% for 10 seconds. Stacking up to 3 times. Oh, wait. Wow. This is not what it said. This is not what it said in the tooltip. I wonder which one's wrong. This one says 2% for 10 seconds. Stacking up to 10 times. This says 10% stacking up to 3 times. Okay, so this is a game changer. Counteract magic actually seems good now. If you dispel someone, you literally heal them for up to 30% more. Wow, okay. I was incorrect about that. During Soothing Mist channel, expel harm heals increased by 15%. 15% is not really that great. Refreshing Breeze. Stacks each time Soothing Mist heals the target. So I guess it can go up to, you know, dispel 45% healing and dispel 3 targets, or I don't know. Basically, Mistweavers feel like they're going to be unkillable with some of these talents. I just am not 100% sure. They're still going to have the cooldowns or the throughput. But I will say that Chrysalis in combination with potentially Peace Weaver for a shorter cooldown on Revival might be good enough. But it feels like you're not going to play Peace Weaver. I just really feel like even if you could port out of stuns, Dematerialize seems like it's too powerful. But maybe you only need this versus like rogues or something. So maybe you just have to play like Grapple Weapon or something. I don't know. Yeah, Mistweavers seem like they're going to be pretty good. Basically, you know, long story short here. Moving on a little bit, Thunder Focus T. Thunder Focus T can now additionally cause Crackling Jade Lightning to knock back immediately or cause your S-Fonts to increase your movement speed. Seems pretty garbage. I'm not really sure. Arcane Mage, I heard this can actually crit for quite a bit of damage. So just like an extra damaging button for Arcane Mage. Keep in mind they already got their Arcane Blast buffed up a little bit. Ring of Fire sounds pretty terrible to me. Summons a ring of fire for 8 seconds at the target's location. Enemies entering the ring burn for 24% of their health over 4 seconds. Now, I will say, someone in my chat said, hey, Cdew, how does Ring of Fire interact with DK AoE grip? You know, imagine I'm Mez, and I'm like, you know, gripped you into the ring, gripped you out of the ring. Gripped you into the ring, gripped you out of the ring. And I'll say that it kind of reminds me of, you know, Ring of Valor back in the day when people would literally grip you into the fire and hodge you. So maybe there is some weird, insane synergy there where you drop a Ring of Fire and a DK just grips you through it over and over and over again until you literally burn to death. Ice Wall seems pretty interesting. I will say that I linked this in my chat, and Sam I Am called it Damp Wall. And, you know, all I could do is just envision Cloud9 just putting up an ice wall around Cubsy so he can drink. You know what I'm saying? I just, you know, it is what it is. And then finally, this is what we had Heartstop Aura replaced with. Heartstop Aura reduced everyone's cooldown recovery rate by 30%. Shroud of Winter reduces people's range abilities by 30%. How good is this going to be into melee? I'm not really sure. Enemies within 8 yards of you become Shrouded in Winter, reducing the range of their spells and abilities. Maybe it's really frustrating. I think melee have like an 8-yard range, basically. So if that's reduced by 30%, maybe they have a really, really, really hard time hitting stuff. I also think that maybe this is good into mages, based on the fact that maybe they can't blink healers often, maybe they can't CS as often. You know, it shortens the range of Warlock port. Maybe you can grip them out of range. The only thing I don't like about this is it feels like Blizzard removed a passive aura that interrupted people's gameplay with another passive aura that is interrupting someone's gameplay. It feels like they got rid of one obnoxious thing based off principle and added another obnoxious thing. And it just doesn't make any sense. I'm kind of worried that Frosty K's might suck. Maybe Shroud of Winter's OP. I really have no idea. But it feels like they literally contradicted themselves by adding this. So we'll see. But yeah, so overall, oh wait, also there's another change on here that wasn't added. There's a new honor talent for Resto Shaman, and it absolutely sucks. It absolutely sucks. So you could see some of the honor talents that they added. Some of them are really cool. Some of them are absolutely 100% game-breaking, game-changing, awesome abilities. And then Shaman's new honor talent is Healing Tide heals for more. And it's like, come on, man. Like, that's really the best you got? That's really the best you got? Like, my Healing Tide heals for more? So, is that going to be enough to make Shaman good? No, it's not. It's not going to make Shaman good enough. So it's right here. Living Tide. Health increased by 150% and heals for 50% more each pulse. Someone told me that the final tick ends up healing for like 2.5k or something. Like, just not good enough. And let me just tell you right now, it's still a 3-minute cooldown, which sucks. And Blizzard literally made it so Mistweaver Monk Revival, also a 3-minute cooldown, AoE heal, heals for 80% more in PvP. They literally could have buffed Healing Tide by 80% in PvP and gave us a more innovative, useful talent. Now, if I play Resto Shaman, will I take Living Tide? Probably, because our healing sucks, and any increase to our healing has to be better than no increase to our healing. But this is not enough to make Shamans viable, nor is it very interesting. So I'm a little disappointed in that. So I'd really like to see, I would like to see better. You know, I expect more, and I expect something better. So yeah, that's where we're at now in terms of what they have added. Some classes I don't think have had anything added yet. And maybe some classes won't have anything added. But yeah, this is the 9.1 changes so far. I do like what I see for the most part, and I definitely hope to see, you know, more fun, exciting honor talents, and I really want to see that 4th row. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and yeah, I'm excited for 9.1.
That you never be lonely.